little bit is a question that kind of raises its head every now and then. But what do you think of when you get asked the question, why don't we just go with our gut feel? Now, we used to do business before we had a whole bunch of analysts and data scientists and that sort of thing. And, people run businesses without those people before. So why can't we just, go on our gut feel? We kind of know what works. And let's save all this time looking at data and just go out there and make decisions.
Thanks for the trigger warning. Just trying to avoid going on a massive rant here.
You've changed colour, Taz.
so gut feel's really useful. The gut feel is based on previous data, whether people know it or not. Yeah. What their gut's telling them is what they've seen in the past. The problem with this is the majority of people haven't seen enough or a wide enough array of things to get a good view of things. We've seen exactly what happens when you just use gut feel. I know I keep using media examples, but if you look at media in the 70s and 80s, it was 90% fraud. The reason a company would go with a TV station is they were getting the best kickbacks from that TV station, and then the media company would tell whoever they were working for that, I've got a good feeling about this. This channel's the best for you, or this program's the best for you.
Yeah.
Using your gut feel opens the door for so much fraud and so many backroom deals that don't benefit the client or the end party or the customer whatsoever. They don't benefit the economy whatsoever. They just benefit a small group of individuals that are able to create arbitrage or take advantage of people trusting someone else's gut feel.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to say, even though we didn't have data analysts or data scientists back in the day, we've been using science and interpretation since, I guess, we started as a human race.
Mm-hmm.
The reason we were able to keep creating fire is we found a method that worked, and then we kept repeating that, and it kept working, and voila, we had fire. And then we had something we could teach other people about how fire worked.
Yeah.
We planted seeds, and the seeds worked in some soil. We planted seeds in other soil, and it didn't work, and that became data points that then allowed us to create farming. So even though people don't understand it necessarily as using data, they've been using data their entire lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
The problem is now, I think, when people hear the term data, they think about machine learning, or they think about algorithms, or they think about all these other massive things it could be, which it generally isn't. Those, maybe 1% of problems require machine learning to solve them.
That's one that kind of gets me as well. So you have business related problems. So there's actual business problems that need to be addressed, and a lot of that, you can do just with getting access to the data. You have a good analyst. You have someone in the team that can actually work with this data. I haven't seen too many situations where machine learning was required to solve common business problems. I see that, it's going to be something that comes up in the future, and it's going to help with larger data sets and things like that. But I almost feel like people are going to machine learning before they're even going to the people that they already have to be able to, pull insights out of data, and it doesn't require machine learning. So it just seems to be a lot of buzz and hype around it. And it doesn't seem to get anywhere.
Yeah, there was a study done recently, and I think it was saying that 70% of AI solutions delivered nothing.
Yeah.
Of companies building data warehouses, 90% of them were worthless. They didn't get used at all.
Yeah.
So machine learning requires huge amounts of data, really structured in a nice particular way in order to be able to use it. And if you don't have that, it doesn't become as useful. But as you're saying, there's a world of things that need to be solved before you even need to get to that point.
Yeah.
But what a lot of people do, and you see this all the time with people creating these massive cloud warehouses or bringing in massive CRM solutions to try and fix everything for them, they're putting the check before the problem.
Yeah.
And they're not putting people at the center of the problem. So if you take a people-centric approach and say, okay, what's your problem? What do we need to fix this? How can we talk about this? How can we solve this? you can actually get to solutions really quickly. But a lot of people that have come out of data science studies, a lot of people that are higher up in C-suites and other groups have heard of machine learning and AI, and they think they have to have it.
Yeah.
So they've put the tech before the solution. And what they have is months and years and millions of dollars wasted delivering nothing of value.
Yeah.
Which creates this terrible feedback loop as well. So you have some people that are scared of data and wanting to use gut feel, as you were talking about, because they think that using data slows everything down. But in reality, it's just the culture of the company is slowing things down and they're using data as an excuse.
Yeah.
They might think that using data kills creativity, but again, that's the culture of the company trying to remove creativity and just go down a very narrow silo. A good analyst will never say, just stick to the data. The data helps give you a direction. So if you're using data to solve a problem, it may just get you as far as saying we need to head north. At other times, it gives you a beautiful Google Maps route telling you exactly where you need to go, how long it's going to take to get there, and what the traffic's like. But there's a huge chasm between you need to head some direction north to here's a complete Google Maps output. And people need to understand that that's the array you have to deal with.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant analogy to actually compare it to looking in the right direction, heading in the right direction, versus not knowing if you're even going north.
Yeah.
So if you didn't have the data to fall back on, you wouldn't even know that you were going north or you needed to go north. You would be going in a direction, and you might be going really fast in that direction, and it could be in the wrong direction. So at least, data is going to be getting you closer to where you want to go instead of just heading aimlessly.
And it may not be perfect. And you may still need to tie it with gut feel and intuition because that's really useful. But if your gut's telling you to go south and the data is saying head north, maybe it's a time to reimagine your gut and say, okay, why is this telling me something completely different? And then explore that a little bit, or rather than just saying, no, the data's wrong, why would I even listen to that?